Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carole at Big Cat Rescue, and this beautiful tiger is Jasmine, who is trying desperately to get Hoover's attention. Hoover is in his den over there. Jasmine's chuffing and talking. Why won't he pay you any attention, huh? You're just such a beautiful tiger. I know. It's just not fair. It's not fair. Oh, don't spray me. That morning sun looks so beautiful on your fur. He should be paying attention to you. He should. He should. 'Cause you're so beautiful. You're so bouncy. You're so bouncy. I was here late last night, so I had to catch a ride home, which meant I had to catch a ride in, which is why I'm here so early in the morning. I usually wait until all the traffic is dissipated and everybody's at work at 9 o'clock before I even try to leave my house on the bike so that I'm not dealing with so much traffic. But the nice thing about being here early is cats are all active. They're all busy getting ready for breakfast. Everybody's so excited about breakfast. I'm about to run out of room here, Jasmine. I'm going to hit a wall. We're going to have to turn around. Yeah, we need to go the other way because I can't go any further. Jasmine, hey, I'm going the other way. Oh dear. Well, we'll see if she comes. She's headed down the lockout. There's nobody there though. It is a beautiful morning here in Florida. It's kind of cool to see the anhinga. Are you guys seeing it? Where is it? There it is. Pretty bold. Sharing that pond with a tiger. Oh dear. I did not mean to do that. Okay. We'll hop on the bike and see if we can find anybody feeding cats. We currently have 8 cages over here on my right, and only 2 cats have all 8 of those cages. That is Amanda, who's eating up here, and Hoover, who was in his den. Hi, Amanda. Good morning, Sharon. I'm not going to get any closer to her. Don't want to make her mad. There's Amanda having her breakfast. Yeah, I'm not looking at you. Making her nervous. Don't want to make her nervous. Looks like Jasmine's next up. You're pretty smart. You knew it was coming. And there goes my bike. On all of our big cats, they shut the door so that the cat's not in there messing with her while she's trying to stack up her food in a very interesting little configuration there. That's to hold the mush in the middle. I know we were asking people to join as subscribers so that Karma would sing to Amanda. I don't know if that's actually happened yet. Do you guys know if she's sang to Amanda? I'm thinking maybe she has, because Luana was asking what could we do next to encourage people who haven't joined up as subscribers to subscribe. Getting all the juice out. Oh, it's gonna be so exciting. And you waited all night for that. Sharon, a good cook? She's a good cook.
Made it myself.
Did I see Amanda? Oh, Amanda enjoyed the singing. Well, good. We'll have to figure out what the next thing is. We also have a way that you can help that doesn't require any kind of a commitment. That subscriber is only 99 cents a month, but for some people that's too much. And so ways that you can help us is to vote for us in the All Slots contest. The prize is $5,000, and you can only vote once, so it's not a huge hassle, and they don't ask you for your information, so it's not like anybody's going to bother you. And I think we dropped out of the lead. We were in the lead for a while, but then we dropped out. I got so many things popping up on my phone. Vets are all talking back and forth. I hit the tiger. We might get called on copyright violations for doing that. Debbie, we are located in beautiful, sunny Tampa, Florida. It is just another day of paradise here. I don't know who's on that weed whacker, but they need a lesson in weed whacking. That threat. Like, just hold the button down and go. Oh, thank you very much, Kathy, for posting the link to the All-Star Slots voting. The 50s, Deb. Oh my gosh. It's 76 here. Jamie was telling me about cold brewed coffee, seeing Duchess have a drink. Made me wonder about that. Has anybody ever had cold brewed coffee? What do you think of it compared to regular brewed coffee? Well, you're welcome. 60 in Illinois, 40s in Ohio. Man, why do people live in places where it gets into the 40s? Yeah, 100 sounds more like what it'll be here today. It'll only say 90 something, but with the heat index, it's usually over 100. And looks like she's going back out to vacation rotation. If you're new, the vacation rotation is a 2.5 acre space out there, and every month a different cat gets that as their place. Oh, look at Amanda having a bath. I wonder if she'll let me film her from way back here. Might be a little jerky because I'm going to have to zoom. Oh, for goodness sakes, Amanda. Why you're pointing that at me. Did I just ruin your bath? I'm sorry. We'll go bother somebody else. Woo. Are you gonna go guard your food? Afraid I might want it. I don't eat that stuff. Ugh. I heard McDonald's is rolling out the Impossible Burger. That's the vegan version that, I don't know if it's the same company or not. Burger King's had big success with it. So McDonald's is rolling it out in some areas. And I really hope it catches on because, man, that could just about single-handedly save the planet if people could convert from eating real animals to eating plant-based meat that tastes and feels and it looks exactly like meat. Then that would cause so much less agriculture needed to feed the cattle who have to then be slaughtered for the food. We could put that food into feeding the starving people of the world, and we'd all be a lot healthier because of it. I see a caracole. A caracole. Is that beautiful Cyrus? It looks like beautiful Cyrus. Jamie, who is a chef and really, really has a her tongue and her nose are overachievers. She can sniff out anything, and she can taste things that you just swear couldn't be tasted, the differences in things. And she really likes the Impossible Burger from Burger King. We haven't, our McDonald's is not an area that has rolled out the new vegan burgers yet, but as soon as they do, we'll get her input to see whether or not it is as good or better. She said that you can now buy the Impossible Burger meat in the grocery store, but it's like $12 a pound compared to $2 a pound for chicken. But that's going to change as more people show that they're wanting that. Then they'll be able to scale up productions, and you can always bring down the cost when there's enough volume and enough people interested in it. So I think that'll be a good thing. If you're not going to look at us, we're just going to go see Nikita. They've seen the back of your beautiful ears enough. Where is Nikita? Hardly ever catch this girl awake. Randall's been working very diligently. Apparently, Explorer had a dog place. Oh, look who's up on our platform. I love it. I love it. Oh, big yawn. You can get some picture without wire. I have no food. Stay where you are. Explorer has recovered some of their nice cameras from a place that doesn't do Explorer anymore, I think, or maybe they got an upgrade. I don't know. Anyway, Randall went and picked up the cameras and brought them here. So very soon we hope to have Nikita Lyon back on her live webcam. And yesterday, I think, he got the vacation rotation switched out for one of those new cameras. So that should be good. And then Kitten Cabana has been having some issues, and so they're working on trying to find a solution, a better camera for the Kitten Cabana. Oh my goodness, he's such a big yawn. This is my favorite time of the day after the cats have eaten and they're all settling in for their after breakfast naps and baths. How old is she? I think she was born in 2000, so that makes her 19. You don't look 19. You sure look pretty for 19. You can see it in how she walks. She's starting to get old and arthritic. Like that. Oh, tuck my paws under. Your loyal subjects are calling you their queen. Yeah, she really is an amazing animal, and it's so hard to convey size by a camera unless you see her next to something that you would recognize, like the size of a person, which that can vary a lot. But she's just huge. She's really, really tall. Got the very long legs. She's bigger than any of our males. They say you're beautiful. They're sending you lots and lots of hearts. I wish you could see all these hearts, Nikita. Yeah, I'm not going to tell her you said she has wrinkly back legs. People say that about me too. Yeah, Liz, arthritis is awful. And as a result, a lot of our cats are on pain medications for it. And on things to help loosen up their joints, like Cosequin and forget the name of the other one that they take. Lots of medications, keep you guys comfy. Usually when you hear my voice, it's because we're out doing the evening meds and snacks. So every morning before feeding time, all of the cats who are on meds that require twice a day, we have our people who go out and hand out the meds. And then as soon as they're done, everybody's waiting anxiously at food prep to get out there and get busy feeding cats. So as soon as they hear the radio call saying that the last cat has been medicated, then they all run out and deliver the food. And the food is like their happy time of day, man. They love getting fed. They eat in the morning. We used to feed at night, and we had a brat problem because the cats don't always eat all their food. And so we shifted it a couple years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, to feeding in the morning. And now we have a vulture problem. So there's just no getting away from the fact that other animals will come in here and steal food, but at least the vultures aren't as apt to cause trouble. Well, I don't know. I was going to say they're not as apt to cause trouble as the rats are. I guess there's about an equal amount of damage they both do. I'm looking in this tree behind her. I don't want to take the camera off of her, but the tree right there beside her has several tiny little woodpeckers in it. What is our neighbor shooting at? I don't know if those are just a species of woodpecker that's really small or if those are babies. They're very cute. If they come over on this side of the tree, I might actually spin around and look at them for you. They're so small, it's really hard to see them though. Oh, there they go, back off into the woods. Missed it. I missed it, Nikita. You missed it, Nikita. He's like, I couldn't catch a bird. Are you kidding me? Yes, Nikita's story was that she was sold to drug dealers. And drug dealers like lions because they're not protected like tigers are. Unfortunately, they should be. If anybody were doing their job and paying attention to what's happening to them in the wild, they would be on the endangered species list, but that's not happening. So she was sold to a drug dealer. They kept her chained to the wall of a crack house on a concrete floor, and she had these huge swellings on her elbows. Drug dealers like the lions because they're cheap. You can transfer them across state lines. And for the first year, 2 years, even maybe 3 years, they're somewhat manageable because they're pack animals, so they see the people in their lives as being their family. But the problem is that just like in the wild, when, especially with male lions, when they get big enough, they will leave the pack or run off other adult males in the pack. And so it just creates a really bad situation if you're trying to raise them in your house because there's going to be conflict. And they're just so powerful. I mean, she's probably 400 pounds, and pound for pound, the cats are 12 times stronger than us. So that means a full-grown person can only really pretty much wrestle a domestic cat to the ground. There's no way that you're going to force a lion off of you or a tiger off of you. That's just not going to happen. And their teeth are made to go through, really tough hide like wildebeest. And so when they bite us, it's just like a hot knife through butter. But typically the drug dealers and stupid people that get them as pets will keep them until they're about 2 or 3 years old, and then they get rid of them because they become who they are. And in her case, drug enforcement showed up, and so they would turn the cats loose so that the drug dealers can get out the back door with the guns and the money and the drugs, and the cats usually end up being killed. In her case, she was tranquilized and sent to the Nashville Zoo at Grassmere. But the zoos don't want these animals because zoos want to pretend that all the breeding that they're doing has some kind of conservation value. And the cats who come from private hands are not purebred, and they're not traceable back to the wild. So they can't even pretend when they breed them that they're doing anything for conservation. So they sent me a picture of her, and they were keeping her on concrete with those poor swollen elbows of her, and I just felt so bad, and so I said fine. They sent her down, and when they sent her, opened up the back of the truck, and in the back were 3 bobcats they didn't want anymore either because they weren't good display animals. I hope this isn't vibrating the phone. The stabilizer is vibrating a little bit. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like it's quite balanced, Nikita. I think she was about a year old when she arrived. No more swellings on her elbows because she can lay anywhere she wants in the soft grass. She might lay up there for a while, but if she wants a really good nap, she's going to go lay where it's soft. Thank you, Deb. It's hard for me to tell. When I look at my phone screen, I can hardly see anything. Yeah, if you could see her little feet, they're very floppy from a declaw job. Are you giving us a hug? Animal communicators will tell you that when animals sit like that with their paws wrapped around each other in front, that they're giving you a virtual hug. And virtual is how we would like all of these cats to be seen. In fact, if you guys have been watching, or you can't watch a podcast, if you've been listening to Over My Dead Body, it's the story of the, I don't even know what you'd call it. I mean, we call it the battle to save big cats. They referred to it as a feud between a big cat breeder and me. And anyway, it's on Wondery, and it's called Over My Dead Body, Joe Exotic. And they just released a bonus episode yesterday, I think, where they interviewed the guy who interviewed everybody. So Robert Moore had been interviewing like 70 people that were involved in the GW Zoo and then with Big Cat Rescue. And that's what they did the podcast based on, was those interviews. But then yesterday, the bonus podcast or bonus episode was somebody at Wondery interviewing Rob Moore. And so he was talking about how, initially he thought that the guy was just kind of quirky and looking for attention, and then realized what kind of evil intent he really had. And so he wanted the listeners to the podcast to kind of come along that journey with him, where at first, it makes him out to sound like he's just a really interesting, colorful character. And then you realize, oh my gosh, there's just so much evil involved here that it's unbelievable. So that was a really interesting podcast or episode. And I was headed somewhere with that and forget what my train of thought was, because I'm not usually out here doing this. This is early in the morning. You do have very cute ears. Yes, you do. Oh, I thought you guys were telling me to exit out. And I'm like, I can't just exit out and come back. Well, I could, but I think I would frustrate an awful lot of people if I did that. She's being so beautiful. I just hate to leave this spot. Thank you, AR and VR. So when I said a virtual hug, it's triggered my mind down a rabbit hole, and like typical, my mind just runs down rabbit holes like a ferret. So Robert Moore, in his interview, was talking at the end about how I believe that we should not be keeping wild animals in cages, and that we should convert those spaces that currently do that into using virtual and augmented reality. We've been talking with Dr. Jim Sanderson about palace cats in the wild, and trying to figure out how we can set up the cameras in such a way that he can get far enough away from the palace cats that they'll actually come out to check out the camera, and we can capture some really amazing footage of them just like you were standing in front of them. I love the 3D imagery, and I feel bad for so many of you, because I've kind of gone down that path of thinking this is really the next place where we could move the needle and end the captivity of these animals by creating these virtual experiences. But unless you have a headset, you can't appreciate just how magnificent the 3D videos are, because it just doesn't look the same on a flat screen, whether it's on your phone or on your desktop. You really have to have that thing strapped on your head and be like you are in this cage with Nikita. In fact, Tanya is working on one right now talking about the truth about lions, and of course we only have this one lion, Nikita, so she's the star of the whole thing, and it's all in 3D, so every time you're looking at her, you're like, I could just reach out and touch her. It just feels so, she feels so close. So that one should be coming out very shortly. You'll get to view her in all of her 3D glory. Currently, the cameras only allow you have to be within 20 meters, 60 feet of the camera in order to turn it on and off with your phone. And that's not far enough for a Pallas cat. You got to be further away. So Dr. Jim Sanderson reached out to the people that he buys camera traps from, and he said, you know, this is technology that we in the field really want. We want to see these cats like we were standing right in front of them. So what have you guys got to do to be able to switch out your lenses for the 3D lenses, because they already have all of the infrastructure in their cameras as far as like how to turn them on and off with motion. And currently there aren't, to my knowledge, any motion sensitive cameras that are shooting in 3D or 360. And I think that will take it to the next level, that people will be like, you know what, I do not want to go to some stinky zoo and see animals pacing or laying in the back of their enclosure trying to shut out the world because they're so miserable. I want to see them doing what they do in the wild. And I am so excited about doing that. And I was very thankful to Robert Moore for mentioning that in his interview in the Wondery podcast, because I think the reason that we did the interviews with him for so many years and here at the end so many hours of just weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of talking and talking and talking. And the reason that we did that is because we wanted to get out into the broad mainstream America the fact that these cats don't belong in cages and that they shouldn't be used in cub petting. And if people knew about all of the evils that go into creating those cubs to pet them, that they would never participate in that sort of thing. So it's nice that it got some coverage, not nearly as much as we like. I was contacted yesterday by ABC's 2020, and they wanted to do a show based on all of this stuff, and I told them I'm going to be watching tonight on 2020 because they're going to be doing a piece on Siegfried and Roy. And I said, if you do that as just a glamour piece about Siegfried and Roy, when I feel like they are responsible for so much of the abuse by promoting the stupid notion of a royal white Bengal tiger being some kind of separate species that had to be protected by all of their prolific breeding that they were doing to try and have cubs, that I'm thinking the reason they had to produce so many cubs is because so many of them are cross-eyed and have club feet and have so many birth defects they couldn't use them in their shows. And they made people fall in love with the white tiger and think that it was something that they were helping by going to those shows. And then other people started trying to breed the white tiger because Siegfried and Roy were paying so much money for them, and they wanted to sell them and could sell them for as much as $60,000 in their heyday in the 80s. And because of that, every backyard breeder in America practically started inbreeding their tigers, trying to create white tigers. And so it's just, you know, if 2020 does the piece and does not really bring that out, then I have no reason in the world to want to talk to them. It shows me they don't know a thing about what's going on and don't care. So we'll see. I don't know what time it's on tonight, but it's probably different across the country if you have ABC's 2020. Let's all watch it tonight and we can compare notes tomorrow. I hope I'm not mad tomorrow. I'm tired of being mad. I don't want to be mad anymore. I want reporters to actually get it. All right, Nikita, I really hate to leave here because you are so gorgeous. Checking out the planes going over. But this is a good time of day to see some other cats, so let's go do that. Didn't know she hadn't eaten yet. Maybe we can watch from back here. Am I far enough away for her not to be mad? Fastest I've seen you move in a while, girlfriend. A lot of people see that behavior of the cat rubbing up against the wall and they think, oh, they want to be petted. No, they don't want to be petted. They have glands and they're marking that and saying, this is my space. And when she gets inside, it's going to be, and that is my food. Everybody stand back. We don't have Nikita on the feeding tour because she just gets so mad if anybody even looks at her food. So we'll see whether or not we can watch this very long. I'm standing way back and have it zoomed in. They're saying, look how big she is next to Sharon.
Yeah. I actually think she's lost a few pounds.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Just a little bit.
She still is tall, though.
I'm sorry?
She still is tall.
Oh my gosh. She's twice, 3 times my size. 4 times.
Whose squirrel's throwing nuts at you? Yeah, we had to build her lockout a lot taller than most of our lockouts. Most of our lockouts, just standing, I can reach out over the top. That one's about eye level for me. Oh, that's a good idea. If you can count those squares, each one is 4 inches. So it's like 10 of them. Okay. News on the Guatemala tigers is they found flights. We still don't have the export permit from Guatemala, but Jan and Tim from Animal Defenders International found flights from Guatemala to Miami that are like $8,500, I think. But then there's no flight that comes directly to Tampa, and so they would have to switch to a charter plane for that leg, and that's going to be like $40,000 just from Miami to Tampa. And we're really debating it right now because it'd be a lot cheaper for us to drive down there, of course. And we had hoped to save the cats that 5 hours wear and tear on them having to drive across Florida to get here from Miami. But I think the thing that concerns Jamie and I the most, and we're going to sit down with Howie today and try to finalize this, but the thing we're most worried about is she lands in Miami, or the 3 tigers land in Miami, and then you've got the flight crews switching them from one plane to another. And that scares the daylights out of me because they're not going to let us go in there and help them move the cats. They're going to say they know what they're doing. And everybody there is going to be wanting to have their picture made with the cat and causing all kinds of grief. I'm going to be quiet while she roars. And I've seen the way people are that don't know anything about wild animals. They think it's fun when the cats launch up and roar and smash against the side of the cages. And I know Jan and Tim will send somebody with the cats, but I just don't know whether or not they could control that kind of a situation where you've got a bunch of people being stupid because you've got to have 4 people on each cage at least to move them. So that's where we are now, is trying to figure out whether or not we can protect the cats from idiots enough to have them switch planes and fly here, or if we should just pick them up there. Because if we do pick them up there, then we can be on the tarmac when they're being offloaded, I think. Ooh, that was ugly. Sorry about that. That vibrating just went crazy. Courtney, I am with you. I am so sick of these cats having to live in temporary quarters when we have these beautiful enclosures behind me that are all ready with their ponds and dens and trees and grass, all of the loving care and great food and everything that they're going to get here. This is Armani, by the way. He's very delicately looking for that last little morsel. Move your nose forward, girl. Forward, forward. You're warmer, 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 warmer. Got it. Ah, you got it. You got it. You're so smart. I'm sorry, I got on my bike and I missed that question. Aren't you getting a couple of what? Tammy, no, we are not getting those last tigers from Wildlife Way Station. We had told Bill and Kiz, who were handling the placement of all of the cats at Wildlife Way Station in California, they said that they had 2 tigers there that nobody wanted. And so we said, well, if nobody will take them, we'll send somebody out there. But if you can find anybody at a good place, an accredited facility that's closer, then please go ahead and do that. And I heard that they are going to Safe Haven, which is in Nevada, and that's a whole lot closer for them, so it's a lot easier trip for the cats. And Linda actually started out here as a volunteer, so we know that she provides excellent care in addition to the fact that she's accredited by GFAS, and so that tells me that it's a good place. So that will be Czar and Tessa going there, I believe. Hey, Sundari. Sunny bunny leopard. Oh, belly's full. Now we're ready for naps. Deb, I'm glad you mentioned the tickets because we have a very important tour out here today, and I need to go catch up with them. They could be pretty substantial donors to the cats. And they got here at 9 o'clock, so they're about a half hour into their tour, so I need to go find them. Oh, yeah. You gonna watch Manny from there? I saw Manny. There's Manny. He's on vacation rotation. And he's apparently waiting for his breakfast. So he's pacing over there by the gate. Maybe we'll go watch him and then we'll shut down. Hold on, everybody. Close your eyes so you don't get sick. Oh, I thought I saw a bucket on the ground over here. I did not. I saw that toy in the cougar cage. Where's your breakfast? Who's feeding you, huh? Who's feeding the Manny? Why are you so focused over here? Where the cougar's playing with that toy? Oh, I see. There's cougars. There's cougar toy and cougars. They don't want to play with you. They say you're too big and scary. Too big and scary. Getting lots of hearts. Handsome boy's getting some hearts. All right, thank you, everybody. Sorry you didn't get to watch him eat. Don't know what the plan is here. Maybe he's on the feeding tour or somebody else's route. Thank you for everybody who is answering questions, and for all of you who are top fans. In case you don't know what that top fan diamond means, it means those are the people that Facebook sees as giving us the most love, liking us and sharing our stuff and commenting. And then the I forget what the other symbol is, but there's two symbols that you might see, two badges, and the other one, or maybe the diamond, is the one for the subscribers. And subscribers donate 99 cents a month through Facebook, and that provides food and care for these wonderful cats, and it also gets them a lot of extra stuff, so they can tell you how wonderful all that stuff is, but they get lots of extra videos and keeper clips and stuff that we would be just inundating others who don't want to see all that stuff all the time. But some of you just can't get enough of these big, beautiful cats, and so we try to make that happen for people that are signing up for the 99 cents a month. Thank you for everybody who voted for us in the all-star slots. If somebody can post that link again, that would be wonderful. Now that I'm about to shut down, maybe everybody will go over there and give us a quick vote. Love you guys. Thank you again for making all of this possible.